CNN fact checks Bernie Sanders on healthcare. Fact check. Oh, I love the definitiveness of that. Fact check. Bernie Sanders is once again saying the U.S. spends twice as much on healthcare per capita as any other country in the world. It's a claim he's been making since 2009 when PolitiFact noted it was false. It's still false now. CNN, diligent as ever, then fact checks itself, fact checking Bernie Sanders. America spends more than twice as much on healthcare per person as their peers in developed nations, according to a new analysis from Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health. But no, there's no bias at all. There's no bias at all. The coverage he's been getting has been perfectly fair. Look, Sanders, despite media, has been getting a bit of a bump. My Bernie story has been trending, apparently. And not just my Bernie story has been trending, the polls are showing a bump. I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time, but I want to talk about some of the polls coming out in South Carolina, and I want to talk about a new national poll that's out. Sanders is surging. And yes, I'm using the term surge, and it is legitimately used. Welcome to the Soapbox. My name is Jamarl Thomas. This is the Progressive Soapbox. Guys, if you dig this content, you find yourself coming back to this channel often, like this video, share this video, and of course, goes without saying, subscribe. If you really dig this content, you find yourself coming back often, please like and well, I think I said like and share, but please consider to supporting this channel through PayPal or Patreon. YouTube is an untrustworthy actor at this point. They're being sued by an LGBT group, which I love, and God, I hope they win that case. Because YouTube's monetization feature doesn't like the term bi and gay and this kind of sexual language in the sense they find that to be problematic. Essentially, they have a bigoted algorithm, and the place essentially is claiming discrimination. I love it. I hope they win that case. So let's go to the polling for a moment. You remember when Bernie Sanders was running against Hillary Clinton, he got trounced in the South. Trounced. I think that might even be the technical term for it. Trounced. He got trolloped. I don't know if trolloped is a word, but you know what I'm going for. Not so much now, or at the very least it may be happening now, but it's taking on a different tint. Let's go to the national poll first. Sanders, up 3. Warren, up 4. Both have done well in this poll. This is the Economist YouGov poll. And I remember seeing this poll last time, like, oh God, he's getting trounced. Or he's not doing great in this poll. But he has moved up in this poll. And by the way, Warren is 1 point away from Biden in this particular poll. And Sanders is right there. It's like a 3-way run. This poll is somewhat of an outlier. Usually Sanders is ahead, but what I care about is the movement. Warren moves 4, Sanders moves 3. This was a poll that wasn't all that favorable to Sanders, so I'm glad to see he's moving in it. This one, South Carolina, Post and Carrier, up by 7. He's moved up by 7. Now, if that is not the term of a surge, I don't know what is. Pete Buttigieg is also surging, but downward. He's surging down. He's up 7. Now, Warren hasn't moved in his poll in South Carolina. Biden is at 36. So even though he's moved 7, Biden is in a stratosphere. Now, interestingly to note, he's only moved down 1, and Elizabeth Warren hasn't changed. I'm fascinated by this poll. He just wasn't, he wasn't doing well in South Carolina, like the last time around. And this time around, it seems that he is gaining traction, at least recently. This poll is over the course of like a week. He's getting traction. Biden is a long way off, but we have a year to go. In fact, he's more than doubled everybody else's movement in this poll. But again, it's like a person with a lot of weight to lose can lose it a little bit faster than others. In this case, flip that on his head, and so, a lot to gain. In this case, he's has a lot of up to him. That needs to change. 36 needs to change. That needs to change, or accept that there are certain states that you just aren't going to win, and you devote resources into others. But at this point, if I'm not mistaken, these guys are trying like a full court press across the board. And based on the primary seasons, yeah, he's going to be in South Carolina. He's going to be pushing hard in order to get South Carolina. And there was one of the gentlemen who either was working with the campaign, came out and was like, yeah, we're kicking ass in South Carolina. So that's what we got so far. Biden has seemingly unassailable lead, which I don't think it's unassailable, but seemingly so. Yeah, Sanders up 7. National polls and YouGov, again, poll is not all that favorable to Sanders, up 3. And Warren, up 4. Biden is only 1 point away. I mean, Biden is down 1 that week. But look, I guess I look at trends more than anything else when I look at polls, if that makes sense. Because I have no idea to know what the number is. Meaning I don't know what the actual number is. But I look at whether or not it's the directions that it's going, because they give you this notion of public sentiment that, look, it's flimsy. It changes. It flips back and forth. Unless they find a defect in the person. Unless they find a defect. Oh, by the way, what's Kamala's? Tulsi Gabbard down 1 in this, but she's 2. So apparently in this poll, she was at 3 at one point. Kamala Harris apparently hasn't moved in that particular poll. What about this one? Kamala Harris up 3. Shocking. Kamala Harris is up 3. Wow. Fair enough. Did they not see what happened to her? Did they not see her get picked apart? Like literally just. There's a scene in is it Terminator? No, it's not Terminator. I can't think of it. Maybe Avatar. Maybe I'm thinking of Avatar part. But towards the end, where the guy is in the machine, he's in the kind of metal suit, and they were like ripping at that scene in order to like rip the heart out of the person in order to get to the meat of the juicy center. Yeah, she got picked apart in that debate. Shout out to Tulsi Gabbard. Sorry, it's not showing entirely in the polls. Tulsi up 1 in this poll in South Carolina, though. All right. I'll end this one here. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks all.